Nobody tells you this part. They show you the results. They show you the highlight reel. They show you the money, the status, the authority. But they never show you the long stretch of boredom that came before it. Here's the truth most people can't accept. If your path feels boring, repetitive, and emotionally dry, you're probably doing it right. The reason most people never become exceptional isn't lack of talent. It isn't lack of intelligence. It's their inability to sit inside boredom without escaping. Mastery demands a price, not motivation, not passion, not inspiration. The price is boredom, and most people refuse to pay it. We live in a world addicted to stimulation. If something doesn't excite us, we abandon it. If something doesn't entertain us, we assume it's wrong. If progress doesn't feel emotionally rewarding, we think we've lost our way. This mindset quietly destroys mastery, because mastery does not feel exciting. Mastery feels repetitive, predictable, unstimulating. The moment something stops giving you dopamine is the moment most people quit. And that moment is exactly where real builders separate themselves from spectators. Boredom is not a flaw in the process. Boredom is the process. The phase. No one prepares you for every serious pursuit has 3 phases. Phase 1, excitement. Everything is new. Your brain is flooded with novelty. Progress feels fast. Phase 2, resistance. The gains slow down, the feedback becomes subtle, your emotions stop cooperating. Phase 3, boredom. Nothing feels new, nothing feels dramatic, but everything compounds quietly. Most people confuse Phase 3 for stagnation. They assume boredom means something is wrong. George Leonard, in his book Mastery, calls this phase the plateau, a long stretch where visible progress disappears, where effort feels disconnected from reward. The amateur panics on the plateau, the master settles in. Leonard makes it clear, those who learn to stay on the plateau eventually rise. Those who can't, leave. Boredom is not an accident. It's a psychological filter. Why your brain resists mastery? Your brain is not designed for greatness. It is designed for survival and efficiency. Novelty releases dopamine. Repetition does not. This is why scrolling feels good. This is why practice feels heavy. This is why entertainment is addictive and discipline feels draining. Cal Newport, in Deep Work, explains that the ability to focus without stimulation is becoming rare, and rarity creates value. The modern brain has been trained to flee boredom. Mastery requires you to override that instinct, not with motivation, with identity. The boring routines behind greatness. History is ruthless about this truth. Isaac Newton didn't feel inspired while inventing calculus. He isolated himself for years, repeating calculations, revising assumptions, and writing notes no one asked for. Charles Darwin spent over 2 decades refining On the Origin of Species, not traveling, not experimenting dramatically, but reading, categorizing, rewriting, and waiting. Beethoven rewrote his compositions obsessively, entire pages scratched out, again, and again, and again. The audience hears emotion. The master lived repetition. Warren Buffett reads for most of his day. No adrenaline, no excitement, just quiet accumulation of understanding. Compounding is boring. That's why it works. Why most people never cross this line. Poor thinking avoids boredom. Wealthy thinking tolerates it. The poor mind chases stimulation. The wealthy mind builds systems. This is why people jump from idea to idea, from business to business, from passion to passion. They are not curious, they are restless. MJ DeMarco indirectly exposes this in The Millionaire Fastlane. Not by glorifying speed, but by condemning impatience without structure. Fast results without boredom are usually illusions. Slow results with boredom are foundations. If this is making you uncomfortable, that's intentional. This content isn't designed to motivate you, it's designed to filter you. If you want more work that dismantles mental traps, builds discipline, and rewires how you think about power, money, and mastery, this channel isn't for entertainment, it's for reconstruction. Discipline without emotion. Kobe Bryant didn't train based on how he felt. He trained based on who he decided to be. Same drills, same footwork, same shots, every day. What people call obsession was actually routine, emotionally neutral, psychologically controlled. The excitement wasn't in training, the excitement was postponed. Masters don't wait for emotional alignment, they enforce behavioral consistency. Ancient systems understood this. Zen monks repeat rituals daily, not because it's efficient, but because repetition dissolves ego. Samurai practiced identical sword strikes thousands of times. No variation, no novelty. Miyamoto Musashi warned against pleasure in training. Pleasure weakens discipline. Neutrality strengthens it. Boredom was never a problem, it was proof of seriousness. The identity shift. The amateur asks, "How does this feel?" The master asks, "Who does this make me?" Identity is built in boredom, not in intensity, not in excitement. James Clear explains in Atomic Habits that identity follows repeated behavior, but repetition without emotion is where most people quit. They want growth without monotony, results without repetition. Mastery without boredom, that deal doesn't exist. Passion is a result, not a requirement. Passion doesn't come first. Competence does. People love what they understand, they enjoy what they control. Early excitement is not passion, it's novelty. True passion is quiet, calm, grounded, and it only forms after boredom has done its work. Why modern culture creates weak builders. We live in an attention economy. Visibility is rewarded, process is ignored. This creates performers instead of builders, influencers instead of masters. Mastery is invisible, lonely, repetitive. That's why few achieve it. Boredom means the noise is gone, the ego is quiet, the real work has started. Most people turn back here. They look for stimulation, for novelty, for escape. Masters stay. They don't need excitement, they don't need motivation, they operate from identity. If you can learn to sit inside boredom, to work without applause, to repeat without excitement, you gain an advantage most people will never have. Boredom is the price, mastery is the reward. Pay it, or remain average.